Live, baby. Welcome, fellow artists, to Lyricology 101. I still don't have my channel back yet, but we're still here. We're still with you guys, and we're back with another. Excuse me again. Excuse me 3 times. Personal bar for bar breakdown with my man Cam Harris. Phenomenal artist. Phenomenal freestyler. Very talented. And he sent me 2 tracks, y'all. He's about to knock this shit out of the park. If you guys are interested in getting your song broken down in a similar fashion, you know the deal. Hit your boy up at lyricology101 mail@gmail.com. Please add the mail or I won't get the email. Let me know you want your song broken down. I'll send you all the information I need from you, and we can work this out, and it'll be up as soon as possible, which could be tomorrow or up to Friday, depending on the workload. But right now, we're looking really good. If you guys need your song broken down, hit me up ASAP. Enough of that. Let's get this ball rolling. So we got 2 tracks. The first one is, every time I see it, I was like, I'm going to remember this, but I can't. All right. Idrfwmsst. And you'll figure out what that means. So yeah, let's get started.
Sometimes I don't really fuck with myself sometimes. 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 No, I don't really fuck with myself sometimes. Always apologizing for somebody who thinks so much. I don't think a lot sometimes. When I act, I trip like life is advice.
Okay, you already know how we do here, so we're going to be doing a lot of pausing and stopping and talking, so don't worry about it. All right, so always apologizing for somebody who thinks so much, I don't think a lot. So I feel like he's already contradicting himself. Always apologizing for somebody who thinks so much, right? But I don't think a lot, right? Sometimes when I act, I trip like life is, because life is a trip itself. Advice is scratch past. I like the scratch pass cat fights thing. The allusion to the cats and scratching thing, but no, listen to him, man.
I said scratch pass myself sometimes. Always apologizing for somebody who thinks so much. I don't think a lot sometimes. When I act, I trip like life.
So I don't know if that was a deliberate contradiction or if he's talking about another individual, but I feel like he's talking about himself because he's literally talking about himself in the context of the hook, so he must be talking about himself.
His advice is scratch past like cat fights. So I right my wrongs, my rights, my vices. Where's my head
and
at?
If you have to scratch past something like a cat fight, I mean, that's how you fight through it. So just another way to say that he's fighting through it.
Much I don't think a lot sometimes. When I act, I trip like life is advice is scratch past like cat fights. So I right my wrongs, my rights, my vices. Where's my head at? Spinning cycles at the laundromat.
I like the double play off right, so I right my wrongs, my rights, my vices, where my head's at. And then I just love this the spinning cycle joint that's coming up. So spinning cycles like a laundromat, but the spinning cycles also, it alludes to the spinning cycles of life, but the spinning cycles goes into the baseball reference that's coming in the line next, which sounds super dope. So of course you spin cycles around the diamond in baseball. So yeah, no cracker jack. This is a different type of ball and bat. So yeah, he goes into the baseball illusion. So pay attention. It's amazing.
No cracker jack, this is a different type of ballin' bat. No running out to the dugouts and falling back.
Running back.
Spinning cycles at the laundromat. No cracker jack, this is a different type of ballin' bat. No running out to the dugouts and falling back. It's all in or nothing. But what about the times when my roll of 4 quarters turns to 3 different dimes and turns to the worth of 3 minds when I'm already weary of one? Do I look into the eyes of Medusa?
All right, so I was paying attention to this one, and in my head I was like, man, this would have been so dope if he did a 4-3-2-1 thing, but it's 4-3-3-1, which is fine. So yeah, the 4 quarters. So when my roll of 4 quarters turns to 3 dimes, so I got a few visuals out of this. It's like, my dollar, when my dollar is down to 30 cents, right? But also 3 dimes or 3 tens. So I didn't know if the 3 tens bared any illusion. And then we go from the 3 dimes, which is also I thought he was talking about how he feels about himself, but I thought it was leading into maybe relationships with women. But I don't want to stretch on that one. But when my roll of 4 quarters turns to 3 dimes and turns to the worth to 3 minds, or turns to the worth to 3 minds, to me, I was thinking 3 minds of 3 different placements in his head. That's why he's feeling so split up. And when he's already weary of one mind, right? So there's a few ways you can look at the 3 minds. I got a few ways. So like one context is if you look at it spiritually, it's like you have 3 minds within yourself. But also if he's talking about being in a relationship with somebody, the 3 minds could be the relationship with himself, the female in question, and maybe the third party, which could be like somebody they're cheating with. But that also could be a stretch as well. But I feel like he's still going in 2 directions. Like there's a relationship context or just a self-relationship context. So either way.
The ruler will decide, so I turn to the court asking who is on my side, who's the throne and who's the subject. I guess it's
So yeah, the ruler will decide, so I turn to the court asking who is on my side, right? And then it goes into the throne illusion, king illusion. Really dope.
to me, sometimes I don't give a fuck.
Run it back.
Already weary of one. Do I look into the eyes of Medusa? The ruler will decide. So I turn to the court asking who is on my side, who's the throne and who's the subject. I guess it's up to me. Sometimes I don't give a fuck. However, so I relapse to the same brain budget.
So the same brain budget is like what he's spending his thoughts on the same thing, right? And I guess it's up to me. So I guess he's saying he's the king or he's the ruler, and it's up to him. Sometimes I don't give a fuck, right? So I think that's what he was doing. Really dope. And then some about the hook, man. If you listen to the song enough times, the hook just gets in your head. So yeah.
I don't really fuck with myself sometimes. 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 I don't really fuck with myself sometimes.
Sometimes I don't mess with myself. Maybe because I told you how I felt and how
All right, so sometimes I don't mess with myself. I don't like myself because I told you how I felt about himself, I guess, or maybe told this individual about how he felt about her.
I said it was quite mindless, and maybe I expected you to mind less. Yes.
Oh yeah, just to make the picture bigger, it's like contextually, if he's talking about, they're both talking about themselves, but I feel like there's a relationship illusion in there where it's like when you're in love with someone, you see yourself in them. So I keep seeing both sides of the coin being played out. Really dope.
Indeed, I guess and how I said it was quite mindless, and maybe I expected you to mind less.
So yeah, maybe I what I said was like it was mindless. I wasn't thinking about it, and I was hoping you wouldn't give a fuck. You know, I was hoping you wouldn't be upset about what I said.
Yes, indeed, I guess it's rest in peace. No, the recipe for me to lose rest indeed.
Now, okay, so the rest in peace, I thought the recipe was a deliberate bend to play off of rest in peace, just the way that he says it. And then rest indeed to me rolls well with the yes indeed earlier. So I think there's a concept that he ran in between.
Blessed with a sense of me. If you're upset with me, it's nonsense indeed. Wait.
He said, I ain't blessed with a sense of me. So I guess, you know, he doesn't like himself, so he's not in love with himself, so he can't feel himself. If you're upset with me, then it's nonsense indeed. So once again, if he's talking to another person or himself, they both have the same context. So if you're upset with me, it's nonsense indeed. Wait, nonsense of me sentimentally. So he's putting it all together. Really beautiful.
Nonsense of me sentimentally. I fell hell's hot, so I ain't hell. Sharp as a tire.
I fell hell's hot, so why in hell? I thought he said why in hell, like as in to question it, but also he takes a deep breath after such a stressful period of being in a hellish situation. He takes a deep breath and he comes back.
Smell like bringing to nonsense indeed. Wait, nonsense of me sentimentally. I fell hell's hot, so I ain't hell. Sharp as a tire, smell like bringing too fast. I mark the past and the present, a spark to express my heart. Sorry, I ain't.
I like I marked the past and presence. I think that's just a good play, really fast. It's a fast play, but I like how he played it.
Hot, so I ain't hell. Sharp as a tire, smell like bringing too fast. I mark the past and the present, a spark to express my heart. Sorry, I ain't used to that. A lot of times I felt to let go of that. Use frustration to snap on raps and me rap.
Use his frustration to snap on raps, so it's like previous attitude. And the rambling is peeling back the cap. And then he's going to go from the cap concept to feeling bottled up into picking the bottle up. So double play is dope.
Berlin is peeling back the cap. The consequences of being bottled up. Well, give me stress enough to pick a bottle up. Yeah, but I'm moving out the abyss because to punish myself will leave me remiss.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout to Cam.
Shout out to Karen.
But we ain't done yet. We got another one for you. We got Anima. So check it. Let's get this next one running.
Old Cam different from the now Cam. Old Cam different from the now Cam. Old Cam different from the now Cam. Old Cam different from the now.
So yeah, the old Cam is different from the present Cam that you see right now.
Cam, some same problems ain't found.
Wait, so the old and the new still have the same problems, and he's trying to solve the problems. He's gonna roll into this evolving play. Okay, so he's gonna say, "I'm still evolving, and I ain't poking Everstone, but and Everstone is a feature of Pokemon, so he has a play off of Pokemon. You'll hear it when we get there."
To solve them, I'm still evolving, and I ain't poking Everstone never, but different from the now. Yeah, some same problems ain't found out how to solve them. I'm still evolving, and I ain't poking Everstone never, bro. I adapt to the weather while you follow heaven code. Sometimes alone is how you truly measure whole.
So yeah, he's adapted to the struggle and the pain. I don't know. My brain said Heather code. I don't know what Heather code is. I thought it was like you just following the mentality of a white woman. That's what I thought.
Better flows to catch, adapt to the weather while you follow heaven.
Because if he adapted to the weather and you're barely you're following the Heather code with that concept I just gave you, then you're soft.
Oh, sometimes alone is how you truly measure whole. Better flows to catch, veteran status. Better than me just falling out the stratus.
So yeah, okay, so better flows to catch the veteran status to raise him to the top, which is far better than him falling off of the stratus of the highest point. So essentially, he's better than ever.
Want my soul to spread over the masses like butter on toast, so Cam don't give him the dose. I just want my soul to spread over the masses to represent this moment's ashes.
All right, so here I was looking at it. I was like, okay, he says it twice, but I feel like there could be a double for both meanings. But he says, I just want my soul to spread over the masses like butter on toast. So in context to what he is as a being, as a person, as an individual, in a spiritual context, yeah, he wants himself to expand. So Cam gonna give him the ghost, right? The Holy Ghost or the ghost within him, his spirit, everything that he got is in regards to the music and his own spirit itself. But then I just want my soul to spread over the masses to represent this moment's ashes. So it's like the moment is dead. So he wants he wants to spread his soul over the masses to represent being here. Right, so really dope, really dope.
The first death, one was Cassius, but he died on toast, so Cam don't give him the ghost. I just want my soul to spread over the masses to represent this moment's ashes. Not the first death, one was Cassius, but you die every time you rest your lashes. Then you rise again, I'm looking.
All right, so the way I looked at this, so not the first death, right? This moment's ashes is a representation of death. Not the first death. This isn't the first time dying. One death was Cassius, and I thought, okay, Cassius like Cassius Clay, so one death was a fight, maybe. You know, I was just thinking one death was something to struggle with. Your first death probably was hard to deal with, but you die every time you rest your lashes, so every time you go to sleep. Then you rise again, right? So I got a reincarnation play out of that, but also just a daily life context as well. And then I'm looking at the skies to envision how it feels to be fly, but that's also you rising again. So there's a lot of visuals, man. Really good.
Looking at the sky, say envision how it's Cassius, but you die every time you the masses to represent this moment's ashes. Not the first death, one was Cassius, but you die every time you rest your lashes. Then you rise again, I'm looking at the sky, say envision how it feels to fly. I can never minimize imagination, that's a station.
He can never minimize an infinite space. So that's a station, that's a place where you can be like locked down and rested in, which could also be a place where he is in the context of this song.
It's a station to the inner machinations, but lately I've been racking patience, now can.
I like how he ends with the now cam, which is part of the context of the hook he made. But yeah, so that's a station. That's the station to your inner machinations, what you create inside of yourself. But lately, I've been racking patience, so just waiting, but also being presently now, Cam. Really good. Is a phenomenal artist, phenomenal freestyler. Check him out in the Discord. Check out his Instagram. Check him out spitting. Very talented fella. All right, brother. So yeah, if you guys are interested in getting your song broken down in a similar fashion, hit your boy up at lyricology101 mail@gmail.com. Gotta add the mail. Let me know what you need. I'll hit you up with all the information and have your breakdown up as soon as possible. Much love to you guys. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. And if you like what we're doing here at Lyricology 101, please share. This has been Lyricology 101. My name is Andre Gaynor. And don't forget what art is. Peace.